Hello and welcome to the third part of my first fabric rose tutorial, where we're going to shape rose petals and also make a rose heart. So here I have prepared my petals. They're currently lying on a moistened cloth, which is going to make them a bit more soft and pliable. Here I have a soft rubber pad which I'm going to use to shape my petals, together with a flower iron, and the tip I'm using is a 2 centimeter round tip. So what we need to do is take a moistened petal. It shouldn't be wet, just a bit moistened. Stretch in the middle with your fingers. Place it in the corner of the rubber pad, and by holding the top part of the petal, firmly press the petal with a flower iron in the lower part. You will probably need to hold the flower iron for a couple of seconds. Denim is quite a dense, thick fabric, so it will need some time. This is how the petal is going to look after we've shaped it. So it has like a straight upper part and then a concave lower part. You can shape the petals from either side. I'm going to shape them all from the right side of the fabric. So again, stretching a little bit in the middle. Then I'm holding the top part with my thumb, and I'm pressing the tool into the petal in the middle and lower part of it, and holding it quite with a bit of pressure. Here is the petal. Try to avoid any pleats on the sides of the concave. There might be a little bit of pleats on top of the petal. Now I've shaped all the petals in the same way, so they are ready for the next stage, and this is going to be rolling the upper edge with our fingertips. So what we need to do is moisten the fingertips a little bit using the moistened cloth, and then gently roll the very top part of the petal out to form like a rolled edge of about 1-2 millimeters. So this is how the finished petal is going to look. I'm going to show it again on another petal. So moisten your fingertips and gently start rolling the very edge of the petal out to form a nice, neat, rolled edge of just a couple of millimeters of fabric. We're forming the rolled edge on that part of the petal where we haven't shaped it with a flower iron. All the petals have been shaped with a flower iron, and we have rolled the top edge. So 2 petals are going to go onto the flower heart, onto the rose heart. Then we have 6 petals which we are going to make into pairs, and 6 more petals which are going to be individual petals. So these middle 6 petals are going to be glued together to form pairs of petals. To do that, we need to apply a little bit of glue at the bottom of one of the petals, and then glue the second petal on top of the first one, but with a shift of about 1 centimeter to the right, as you can see in the video. So it's not glued on top of the other petals straight, but there is a shift of about 1 centimeter. Also, check the top edges of petals. The inner petal should be either the same height or slightly lower than the outer petal. And glue in the second pair of petals, and it's the same, a little bit of glue, and then the inner petal is going on top of the outer petal with a shift of about 1 centimeter. And the third pair, again a little bit of glue, and the inner petal is glued on top of the outer petal. So here are the 3 pairs of petals are ready. The next job to do is to form the rose heart. I'm using a single gauge 24 wire, which I'm bending roughly in the middle to form a loop in the top part, and I'm using some cotton wool here. Dip the loop into the glue, and I'm using some cotton wool, put a bit of it in between the wires and start rolling the cotton wool around the wires, as you can see in the video, to form a dense, fat cone of about 2.5 centimeters by 2.5 centimeters. This is going to be the middle, the center of the rose. Making cones like that will probably require a little bit of practice. But once you've mastered it, it's not difficult. You could use factory-made cones, but I find it more difficult to try and find the cones of right size. Once you've learned how to make it yourself out of cotton wool, it's going to be much more easy to make it yourself, to make a cone whatever size you require. From time to time, measure the cone to see if it's coming up to the right size. I need more cotton wool on it. It's not fat enough. Measure again. So we're almost there. Just a little bit more cotton wool, and will be the right size. So here is the cone, the size we wanted it to be. And if it's the right size, then it's going to sit snugly inside a rose petal that we have shaped. So let's see, I'm going to put a petal on top of it. And yes, it looks like the right size, which is good. So our rose heart is ready.